Man, I wanted to do my best to avoid this topic, but y'all just won't let it go. I was working on a project last week, and the client wanted a clip produced from someone talking about this Lyft passenger that got rejected by a Lyft driver. I went to get my haircut, and he happened to ask my opinion about this Lyft passenger who got kicked out by a Lyft driver. And even though my barber didn't say it, he was kind of hoping that I'd make a video on it. I'm genuinely surprised that no one brought it up at my birthday bash that I had recently, although maybe someone did bring it up and they were just across the restaurant and I didn't hear about it. Regardless, society apparently is not going to let me get away with not responding about this. I feel like Michael Corleone in The Godfather 3.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
With that being said, as y'all know, my name is Elijah Bilel. I'm the founder of the Side Hustler Society, formerly known as the App Lifestyle, which is formerly known as the Uber Lifestyle. And y'all know this channel has its roots in the gig economy. In fact, the first video that I appeared on screen for longer than 60 seconds was actually talking about 10 tips on how you can improve as a rideshare driver. With that being the scenario, I do have some things to say about this video, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, full disclosure, I have seen this video a few times, so this will be less of a reaction and more of a commentary. But for those of y'all that still haven't seen it, which I don't know how in the world you haven't seen it yet, we're going to take a look at it, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. Okay, this is from Fox 2 Detroit News. The video will be linked in the description if you want to go over there and check it out, support the channel.
The Edge, a Detroit rapper, is going viral for something other than her music.
Fans know.
Oh, wait a second. Right off the bat, going viral for something other than your music. Why would you want that? Wouldn't you want to go viral because some song actually popped off? Never mind. Let's get into it.
Know her as Dank Demas, and they're fuming after a Lyft driver allegedly denied her a ride because of her size. And Fox News' Jessica Dubnik is live in Detroit with the story. And my goodness, tell us how this all unfolded here, Jessica.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Banlane whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver, he was kind enough and apologetic, but refused her a ride and said that she would not fit and that her weight couldn't be handled by his tires. Now she's filing a lawsuit.
Okay, that's it.
Have you been in cars that size?
Yes, damn.
I've been in cars smarter than that, you know?
Deja.
Okay, first off, I'd like to see the car she's been in that's smaller than that. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Come on.
Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in it.
Wait. It sounds like she went out looking for some stuff to go down. You're talking about you're looking at the driver's face, making faces. Oh, I already knew where this was gonna go. Is this a publicity stunt? I'm starting to wonder.
This car?
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
For every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
Hold on, wait a second. You're a rapper, right? And you don't ever order Uber XL. What the hell are you even doing in a normal Lyft or a normal Uber X for that matter? Yo, don't y'all know that rappers, just for their status alone, are usually rolling up in like Uber XLs, Lyft Lux, Uber Black, you know, back when Uber Select was a thing. They rolling up in the higher platforms because they want to like show off how much money they're making and for a status. If you take in like normal Lyfts and normal Uber X, you should know that you shouldn't want to be seen in that as a rapper. That's not going to do good for your career. So you're blowing up not over your music, but this viral attention you're seeing complaining over being inside a Lyft or Uber, normal Lyft or Uber. I mean, that would be a bigger problem for your career than suing Lyft and potentially winning if you're really sincere about being a rapper. Let's just keep going. Let's go.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank Demas, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
how are you going to say she's pretty tough and then say you're crushed by the situation? If you got a tough skin, then charge that to the game and keep moving on. Clearly, she's not pretty tough.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was
Mark-ass ambulance chasers. They ain't got something else that they can be doing. They can be contributing to society with their lawyer skill set.
wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims.
I call BS on that. Being black or whatever, that's something you're born into. A weight is something that you can do something about. They are not in the same category. That's a disingenuous argument.
In my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can. I really want people to see, like, what we go through as bigger people, you know?
We did reach out to Lyft. They did not get back with us in time for this story. Now, Lyft, Uber, those rideshare companies, they can refuse passengers based on a perceived security threat. But according to Deja's attorneys, you cannot discriminate based on someone's weight. It's very clear in that cell phone video. That is why he denied her ride.
Okay, that's the gist of it. So, yeah, let's get into what I think about this stuff. Now that we looked at the video, I do have some things to say, but before we get into that, I gotta ask y'all to give a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm if you're enjoying the content or finding value in it, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, if you want to know more tips about the gig economy or side hustles outside of the gig economy as well. Now, as far as the video goes, I think where the driver went wrong is they focused on this whole, hey, my tires are gonna break scenario, and that opens up a whole can of worms that starts this debate. Like, oh, well, tires are designed to handle like, 2,000, 3,000 pounds, which technically is true. Some people are saying, hey, it's bad for the suspension. Now, I'm not an expert mechanic or anything like that, so I'm just going to stay out of that debate. But technically, if you look at the terms of service in Lyft, that can be interpreted as discrimination, which is why the driver was deactivated, unfortunately. As far as the lawsuit goes, I actually find it kind of comical because some people don't know when it comes to rideshare, both drivers and passengers have to opt into an arbitration agreement to even use the platform. Now, drivers can go through a process of opting out of it. That means that if a class action lawsuit happens, you can participate in it, but if you're opted into arbitration at the time that the lawsuit starts, you can't get in on it. You have to settle any dispute with Lyft through an arbitrator, which costs money. The same applies to passengers. So even though she has two ambulance chasers, I hesitate to even call them lawyers because I can't stand people like this. They just go around causing problems for society when you could use those skills to really serve someone that really needs a lawyer. Instead, you're doing this dumb shit. But that is another issue altogether. Let me just calm down. My point is, some people are saying that Lyft will probably end up settling, but given the fact that Lyft drivers are independent contractors, which is a degree of separation, and the fact that arbitration costs money to initiate on both sides in terms of getting involved in arbitration, the other party has to pay something too. And most of the time, these ambulance chasers, they're just working for free and they just want a big piece of the settlement if it gets that far in court. So if they have to fork out some money initially, maybe they'll just back down altogether. In fact, I'm genuinely curious how long these lawyers have been practicing for, because did they even analyze the terms of service and decide if this was worth it in the first place? I'm bringing that into question, to be honest. So you might be wondering exactly how would you handle it, given the fact that you were a former rideshare driver, and even now I'm actually looking at getting back into it for other reasons. Well, the way I would handle it is focused on safety, because if you look at the scenario, how big that car was, how big the woman was, there's a safety issue in taking her from point A to point B, because from what we saw, she didn't have any kind of safety belt. I mean seatbelt extender. A seatbelt extender is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to extend the seatbelt just like an extension cord would extend the cord. That way you can get the whole belt over your body and you can be secure. Now, it's not the driver's responsibility to provide something like that if she's going to be taking normal Uber X and normal Lyft instead of, Uber XL or the Lyft's variation of the bigger cars. Then she should take it upon herself to keep this with her at all times since she's going to need it. And if she can't do that, then drivers can't take her for safety reasons, because if there's an accident, you're not buckled in, that's a problem. That's how I would have handled it. But to be honest, I really think that the scenario should have never existed in the first place. Order Uber XL or the Lyft variation of, what is Lyft's variation of XL? It's on the screen right now, but ultimately, order a bigger car. It's always random what you're going to get with a Uber X. You could get a small Mitsubishi Mirage. You can get a compact car. At least with XL, you know that there's enough room in there. But that's my thoughts on the situation. I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's unfortunate that the driver got deactivated over this. And if only he had knew some of the information we had shared here, he could have turned it to safety, and then there would be no deactivation for him, or be extremely unlikely, because that is a safety issue. And she should have just had the seatbelt extender if she's going to be taking normal Ubers and normal Lyfts and not the bigger variations. But tell me what y'all think. What would y'all have done if y'all were in this scenario? I've heard some stories from people who are rideshare drivers and from people who are not rideshare drivers about what they would do and what they wouldn't do. So this should be interesting. But I thought this would be an interesting video to react to, quote unquote, because not only will y'all not leave me alone, but society wouldn't leave me alone. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found value in it. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Be safe and be profitable, everyone.